Mountain Leader versus the GPS apps. Hi, my name is Ben. I'm a UK-based mountain leader and welcome to Summit and Beyond. I see people using GPS apps all the time, looking at the phone, like trying to follow the phone. And it's those people who every time I go out come over to me and say, excuse me, how do I get to here? Excuse me, I'm lost. How can you help me? And so what I've realized is it's like the competition, or the enemy, if you like, is right there in clear sight and I'm not seeing them. I'm just getting frustrated with these people, these potential customers. I'm thinking, why aren't they booking a guide? And then I realized that they're not booking the guide for these following 5 reasons. So I've written down 5 strengths and weaknesses of my competitor, which is the GPS app. There's multiple GPS apps: Google Maps, View Ranger, Komoot, the Hiker app, OS Maps, which is like the daddy of all the apps, and then the true kings, I suppose, of the GPS world are like Suunto and Garmin. I see lots of people using their watches to navigate. I see lots of people using the apps to navigate. What are the strengths and weaknesses of these apps? And then how having a mountain leader is different regarding that strength or weakness. Number 1, the apps are affordable. So like, for example, I have the OS Maps because I like using it to plan on the app. I also have a proper map. So I like to look at the proper map, and I like to establish the route because I can see a wide range of the area, and then I'll go onto the OS map and I will plot it on there, because that will give me, without spending hours and hours working out elevation and distance, I can just put it in the OS Maps app and it will tell me like a very accurate elevation profile and distance. £25 a year, that's nothing. So it's affordable. It is affordable, but the weaker side of that is that there's nothing better than personal experience shared. There's nothing better than going out with someone who's got a wealth of experience in the hills and with map reading and learning from them, because you're learning from their mistakes, so you don't have to make those mistakes. You're not getting that through an app. The app's just going to tell you the raw information, the raw data within its capacity. So it has a capacity, it has a bunch of things it can do, and it can't go beyond that. It has no experience to share. The other thing is, like a mountain leader, it might be £20 a year for this app. It might be £150 to go out for a day with a mountain leader and learn some navigation. So it seems a lot cheaper to just get the app and go, but you're not learning anything. It's easy to access, as in you just go on the App Store and you download it. It's easy to access. You click on the app, it opens up, and the GPS is right there. For example, on Hiker, you can look for water sources or campsites. On the Suunto and Garmin app, you literally just load it up onto your watch and you just follow a dot on your watch. So easy to access, so easy to download, but it's also easily misunderstood. If you don't know how to map read, you don't know how to read the terrain, you don't understand it, you can sort of end up in a gully that you don't want to be in, just off the GPS line. Places like around Scafell, that can happen quite easily. You can end up walking yourself into trouble. Also, sometimes the updates on the apps aren't up to date, and so there's misinformation on there, and it's easy to misunderstand. With a mountain leader, they are easy to access. You're not going to misunderstand because you're with a person and you can keep asking them questions so you've got a better understanding. And that's what we're trained to do. We're trained to coach. We're trained to keep control of a group. We're trained to pass our skills over and be teachers, leaders, and keep people safe. Number 3, simple to use. Real simple to use, aren't they, the apps? You just click on them. If you're using the GPS, there's usually like a little dot, whether you're using the watch or the phone, there's a little dot, and there's usually a line that you've uploaded, like a GPX, or that's already uploaded onto the app, and you just follow that line. If you want to know where a water source is, or you want to know where there's a B&B or a campsite, you just literally click on the little icons that tell you that it's a campsite. It'll direct you to that campsite, and all you have to do is follow the dot. Simple to use, but not reliable. They're not reliable. In the colder weather, batteries on phones die very quick. There's the chance that there's a glitch in the app and it stops working. Sometimes they have to catch up, so there's a lag in the system. There's just multiple reasons why technology on a phone or a watch is not reliable. Saying that, the watches these days are getting the superior, like they're very, very good. But they're only reliable if you understand the terrain that you're going through, and that takes being able to read a map and read contours and know what's coming up. Just following a dot on a line with an elevation profile isn't the wisest thing to do. You kind of want to know that, you want to have that experience of map reading as well. Number 4, there's a massive info, and it's all nicely categorized into subsections. But then the weakness of that is that untrained people gravitate towards their own strengths. So if you think like you've got an app and then you've got this wealth of information, it might even tell you, it might even do like basic map reading skills. So you've got this wealth of information all nicely categorized into subsections, and you can like click through and you can go through and you can learn all these different things that the app does, and it really helps you out. The only issue with that is because you are interacting with the app directly, there's nobody like saying to you, questioning you about your practice, questioning you about the way you're using the app. Therefore, you will just use what you know how to use. So you will play to your strengths. And that's what I'm seeing out on the hill all the time, is people are playing to their strengths. They know how to use a phone. They know how to use Google Maps. So it's real simple, right? You just follow the dot and you keep it on the line. But when that starts to glitch out, when that starts to fail, or the phone dies, it's like everything stopped. There's no more information, there's no more guidance. Where the mountain leader comes into that is there's a massive information inside our brains and inside our experience, and what we are trying to do is flow with you to teach you and coach you how to be safe in the hills. And we do that through establishing where your weaknesses are and then helping you to work at them and strengthen them up. That you can't do that via an app unless you are trained unless you've been out with someone who explains to you where your weaknesses are. Then you can go to the app and maybe it can help you. But you need somebody there, you need an interpersonal relationship there. So number 5, the last one, it shows you the way. But a weakness, it doesn't teach you how to find the way. So it shows you the way, you just look at a dot and you follow the dot. But it doesn't teach you why that's the way. Why would we go that way? Why is the GPX set on that route? So you look at the map sometimes and you see like those black squiggly lines, big thick black squiggly lines, and you're wondering why is the trail looping all the way around that? Why doesn't it just go through it? And that's because it's a big cliff, it's a big mountain crag, and you would probably really hurt yourself if you tried to climb over that. And so understanding the features on the map helps you to be able to plot your own route. Or if you're following a GPX, if you're following the GPS or GPX file, which is the little line that the app's put onto the map, if you're following that, then when you're looking at the map, you can start to go, oh, there's steep ground there, there's a river there, you know what you're looking at, which helps you to understand why you need to travel in that direction. So it shows you the way, but it doesn't teach you how to find the way. And there's another benefit for booking a mountain leader. that's the 5 things, and from my perspective, I feel like I use the apps. I use the OS app, but it is no substitute for the real map. It's no substitute for the times that I've been out there with a map and a compass and got myself completely lost, and then found my way back to the path, or back to the river or the road, back to the town, through using my navigation skills, through using a map and compass. It's no substitute for that. And it's only because I know how to do that that I am confident with using the apps. And what I'm seeing is people trying to approach it the complete flip side. They're not putting the time and effort into learning how to be safe and survive and be resilient and confident and have the skills to be out in the mountain environment. They're not taking the time to do that. They're trying to do like the Amazon Prime sort of thing, where they buy an app and they believe that they're going to be safe and able to navigate with that. But there's like this whole other like section of information within the app, like the mapping, the terrain, the elevation profiles, all the different features and symbols that come with a map, that you need to know to be able to still go out and operate safely. And what I would say is, if there's an app out there that's a GPS app and it doesn't have mapping on it, mapping software on it, as in like mapping like this, with features and like, you know, proper distance and timing, and you can't get a grid reference off it, don't use it. Once you pay a subscription, you get the OS mapping with OS and with View Ranger. And once you've got that, you can start to learn about what a map looks like. Some of the other apps don't have that on, and I would say that if you come across an app that doesn't have OS mapping on it or Harvey's mapping on it, don't buy it, because it's not worth your money, because you're not going to learn anything from that software about being out in the hills other than following a dot on a line and walking. And if there's a glitch, if your phone dies, you drop your phone, it smashes, you're done for. Whereas at least if you know how to map read, you can get yourself out of that situation. And at least if you know how to map read, you can look at the app and if the app's got the mapping software on it, if it's got the OS mapping software on it, you can look at the map and you can understand the terrain that you're about to go across, which is really important if you want to be safe. If you're considering going out more often into the fells, also consider learning how to map read, how to use a compass, and use the app to assist you with learning that, not the other way around. I hope this has been informative for you. I will see you in the next video in a bit.